Thank you very much for staying with us on TVC Breakfast this Thursday edition. And now to our next discussion. And of course, we start this way. Some civil society organizations have restated their support for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in the task of fighting economic and financial crimes as well as other acts of corruption. And given the strategic roles these CSOs play in the fight against corruption, this show of renewed support for the anti-graft agency, many analysts say, will boost the agency's war on corruption and other crimes. And this new commitment comes at a time when the EFCC's chairman, Olukoyede, who heads the affairs of the Anti-Crime Commission, says his defining principle will be transparency and accountability. And Mr. Olukoyede recently ordered staff of the commission to declare their assets in line with civil service regulations and procedures. This statement also hints that the helmsman would ensure the EFCC under him approaches issues diligently and that he would operate above board so there would never be doubts or questions as to the quality of their work as they continue in their mandate. So joining us in the studio now is the convener Campaign for Dignity and Governance, Olukoyede. It's good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and welcome. All right, and only last night, I'm sure you must have, followed the news.
Yeah.
There was a raid on students of the Obafemi Awolowo University. The students came out to protest, went to the Ibadan zonal headquarters, that is, and following that, the new chairman of the anti-graft agency has now announced that there will no more be night raids. As it appeared, this particular protest or this particular raid occurred at night. So as the EFCC continues to make changes, I wonder what you make of, and I want us to start this way, what you make of the back and forth and now this new intervention by the EFCC.
Well, first, for this new civil society, all hands must be on deck to offer support for any agency that is given the responsibility of protecting our resources and assets, either assets belonging to the federal government, state government, local government, or belonging to Nigerians. They should be up and coming, and Nigerians should also know for their arms in this regard. I know very well that when we have passed through all the things that has happened to us as a people in Nigeria, people have become very complex to rule and govern. So, which informs the reason why some people may want to resist arrest at times. And that's why I will advise the chairman of EFCC to underpromise and overperform. You should not overpromise and underperform. The more you receive complaint, the more you should not be in a haste to comment on certain issues. We live in a country where even to fight for you as a people becomes difficult. The moment you see some people gathering to fight for why will National Assembly be using a car for 160 or 120 million, some people were saying that they have given them money to do that process, and it's a legitimate fight. So there's no side you are going to take when it comes to EFCC matter that you see one group of Nigerians or the other that will not say that they have been sponsored. If it is the victim that you are saying that you have trampled on the strikes, some people will say you have been bribed. If it is the EFCC, so the chairman should study the environment more before making comment. Because we are aware as a civil society that a lot of people that led to the arrest at night were evading arrest. EFCC keep vigil in the house of some people for months. And they discover that they come in 1 a.m. and leave 4 a.m. for months. And the proper time to arrest is in the morning. So you don't have any option than to make the arrest in the night at times. So all this, the student too, in a way, why will you your parents gave you money to go to school, and the next thing you are doing is to be doing what is the proper name given to, which is Yahoo Yahoo. What proper time will you go and conduct such a raid than in the night? Because if you go in the morning, you'll be bombed by this. So you should be very careful in certain comment I will make, because we will be head on to it. Just like the question of INEC, are you going to use before or not? You should be careful. Study the situation. understand the reason why certain things are done unconventionally. Understand why certain things are done in a particular way that informs your agencies to do it in that particular way. So you should be a person of more of action, because it's a good starting point to say that my own agency will declare the asset. So you don't have any moral right to say that, why are you asking me for what I've acquired in my life? Because it's standard. So it's a good beginning for him. And it is also very important for all Nigerians to know that the new government that has come on board has numerous challenges. And corrupt practices should not be things that should get close to Tinubu's administration. And the starting point for him is to also start asking other public office holders to also declare their assets. And I think it's just sending a clear message to everybody that now I've done my own. So you should know that anytime I come to visit you, there's no question of why will you be doing that to me. It's very, very important. And it should follow you to this time around. Right. President Tinubu should give him all the necessary support that he requires. There should be no good area. And in fact, the president has said a few days back that I will not take bullet for anybody. If you cannot perform, resign. And since he has emerged as the president, we have told him several times that remove and replace anyone that doesn't want to perform. So the roadmap that the EFCC chairman has established now is we are very impressed about it, and we want to assure that I don't know the civil society that has done that, but you know by tradition that we have a relationship with the EFCC, and we will continue to offer him the necessary support in terms of, because it needs to let us understand as interface between the people and the institution. That was why I said you should be careful, because before, why will you go and be arresting people at night? But they told us there are challenges. There was a particular case of a former governor. They had to pass through the hill before he was they get access to his house. So, and if you watch the video, the social media experts turned the story around. They didn't say that they have been in his house for hours. And I said, why will you insist arrest? Even last month times, when you see last month official running after lawbreakers, Nigerians say, why are you running after him? Any lawbreaker law enforcement firm agent should go after him. It's a standard all over the world. And the more equipment, the more intelligences that is involved in your arrest, the more penalty you are going to face, the more count of charges you are going to be facing at the court. So it is better if you are arrested, go and contest it. If you are arrested unlawfully, go and contest it. So if EFCC officials came to visit you as a student, why are you going to protest on his behalf?
The key word.
I can't be part of that such a protest. I can't be part of such a protest if I were a student. EFCC came to arrest you, my colleague, and you are going to protest them. That's aberration. That's how it says at times student radicalism has gone to rascality.
Protesting the manner in which they are arrested, which you already
which is what.
But then they also said that they removed the CCTV, which probably would be proof evidence whenever they go to court. So
the manner of the arrest,
which they do it. So maybe that is the reason why the EFCC boss Olukoyede is saying that no sting operation should be done at night under his own watch. But Yoruba would say that it's in the night that we do. Yeah. I don't know how to put that.
Yes.
So but you know what I want to say.
Yeah.
So are you trying to say that it does not really matter, however, whenever arrest is carried out?
You see, enforcement agents are hated all over the world, and that's why you see public opinion at times is not always in their support. When people break the law, it's not only in Nigeria. You see passerby saying, you start saying uncomplimentary against the police officer, against the FS officials. So what it needs to do now more is engagement with the people. Is it free for all? If it's public money, public fund, if he does that, at least a chunk of Nigerians will agree with him that, of course, we need to go after our people, because public ethics has broken down in Nigeria.
But sorry to butt in. You said that the people can go to court to contest the manner they are arrested or anything. But that will cost cost the government more money, and they are.
No, what I'm saying is that what leads to unconventional arrest in most cases because people are resisting arrest. If I come to your house and you don't resist arrest, you go to court. What I'm saying is that if your arrest is done wrongfully, you have to contest it at court instead of giving the commission the pain of coming to keep vigil at your home. Because if you resist arrest, you are running, they will define means to be able to apprehend you too. So, and the psychology that once I'm arrested, I will not get justice. We have to first remove it from our mind that if you want a society that is free, that it is not by decimating our institution. It's about also insisting that there must be standard. If you insist that there must be standard, they will sit up. But if you say that all our institutions, because you are likely not to get justice, you want to decimate the police, decimate the army, decimate... we are not helping ourselves. What we need to do is to be assertive. That, of course, you are doing your duty. But in doing your duty, these are the standards. These are the measures that we have. And that is what we should keep insisting that it is very, very important for EFCC to do their job the way they are supposed to be doing it. And for Nigerians also to allow them to do that. If we are wrong, if there's a crisis of identity that you are not supposed to be arrested, it will be sorted out. Even Boko Haram camp, if they go there, some of the people they were converted to Boko Haram, when they get to army headquarters, they explain themselves that at the beginning I was not a Boko Haram, but after kidnapping, they saw me as a factor that, and he was free. The one that qualified the radicalization process, not to talk of coming to arrest you over matters that court case can sort out. So for us, as a people, everything that we need to do to support EFCC must be done. We got to a point where the young people, there's a redefinition of mura now. Mura now is not about living a moderate life. Mura to them now is when you get rich by any means necessary. That's when you justify living very well. If you don't live very well now, you are considered an outcast in your society. So that inspires more young men to join the underworld. So it is our duty to support EFCC, to do everything that we are supposed to do to ensure that they succeed.
Right, and the case in the OAU now has also, gone on. The school authorities have gone on, and they've also, maintained their stance that they are not after the EFCC doing their job in weeding out, unscrupulous elements within the institution, even though this raid didn't exactly happen in the school premises. But as an activist and a keen observer, what do you foresee would happen now? You've already established that there are constraints on EFCC's hands in carrying out conventional arrests, and so they resort to these nighttime raids, which have now been abolished under the reign of Mr. Olukoyede so far. But looking at the constraints that we have, you've also spoken about the need to engage the public. So what options will EFCC have if we have instances where they have to keep vigil, so to speak, for long? How will they do their job?
And that's why I'm saying it needs to be very careful. Because if there's a high-profile case now that people want results, there's no his officer will not keep vigil in the house of such high-profile cases. And he has made this kind of statement. They just hold him on to it. If you get to someone's house 6 a.m. in the morning, and you're unable to get access until 7 p.m., he has contravened what he has promised Nigeria that he's not going to do. That's what I'm saying. You should lay exceptions. When you are making your point, lay exceptions that we will not arrest you in the night, but make it possible for us to arrest you during the daytime. It is until when you make it difficult for us to arrest you during the daytime that we may have to come after you in the night. And in schools these days, more than half of the students in some institutions are not their students again. So it is difficult for EFCC to send the data and details of students they want to arrest to the school authority. The school authority will say that these students are not our students. These are the experience. In fact, we don't even know these numbers, some of them. But by intelligence report of EFCC shows that they are residing, through your phone, they will track you and things like that. There's about 30, 40, 50 of them come in and go out of where you every day. So in that wise, the school authority cannot be blamed because they say they are not my students. So, and the officials of EFCC needs to do their job. We have to cleanse our society of this immorality. You see, when we continue like this, they will lead, but they won't lead well. Greatness is ascribed to high moral standard. But so when we create a society that lacks morality, whatever we are, either dead or living, it's going to be with regrets that we should have done something.
That's right. About
where we find ourselves today. So as a result of that, it is very, very, very important to be a bit of high-handedness. It has eaten so deep into the fabric of our society. I know you are aware of this. All of us are aware of this. You know the extent of immoral things the young men do. Look at Mubad and Naira Marley's case. Imagine. People are not even bothered about the drug issue, the immoral issue that's involved about what they are involved about, are petty issues. They're not talking about these young men, see what they are doing together. Instead of randomly scolding both of them, they start killing behind the two. And as a parent, it's our responsibility to say, hey, stop. These kids are not doing the right thing. Stop killing behind whoever. So I know 20, 30 years to this time, the issue will have been handled differently. And that is a picture of what is happening in our society now. Our society has now become where the young man has become drug bearer. They have become cartel and stealing people's money from abroad. You need to go there, to go to the rest of the world and see the way people look at when you are spending your hard-earned money.
Well,
and what comes to their mind. So this thing that EFCC is doing, I am in support of it. And the president is doing the right thing by ensuring that all the anti-graft agencies are activated. Because if you don't activate all those agencies, the guys who are involved in manipulating government institutions, they will not be scared of anything. Right. But when the man has read his Riot Act, they say, oh, Tinubu is not joking about this. So we need to be very careful.
That's right.
And with this singular act, it happened in OAU, one of the major institutions in this country. And about 4 months ago, in Oyo, about 35 young men were arrested. All of them were students. So all these things, we have to do something about it. And it's not going to be handled with levity. Let's tell our chairman that there's what the popular balance that Ajebo. You can't handle this matter behaving like Omobotao. They have to show you, have to let the world know that we have a strong character.
All right, there are high-profile cases where the EFCC, which the EFCC is handling, and some others are saying that why are they not really prosecuting these people, going after these politicians, the big wigs in society? Why the Yahoo boys? That's one. And the issue of the people, the role they play in fighting crime and criminality in the country. The whistleblower policy that has been in place since December 2016. How would you say it has been effective, so far?
That's why I said that we are a very, very complex people to govern. We create problem for every solution. If EFCC is going moribund
now. Did you mean we create solution for every problem?
We create problem for every solution.
So you're sounding paradoxical now.
Yes. Instead of creating solution for every problem, someone has hit the ground running. This is the recruitment grant. Smaller pickpockets are the one that becomes bigger criminals in any society. So if you don't nip small crimes in the society, that's why the question of state police is important. The federal police will not have the duty of running after terrorists. If the state police had gone after pickpocket, because that's the recruitment grant, the big criminals who come to smaller crime to recruit that, oh, this is a factor for the bigger crime. The recruitment grant for people who become stealer of our billions of naira it starts from the smaller crimes like this. So the recruitment grant must be truncated. When you see Boko Haram recruiting people, where are they getting their recruitment from? It's because arid of crimes that is in the country. that make it very easy for them to lure in with drugs, with money, such that ISWAP and Boko Haram became the 5th and the 6th deadliest group in the world today. There's recruitment ground. In a country where there are lesser crime committed by the youth, the recruitment into crime will not be. So going after, he has his own strategy. I'm just assuming that the strategy is to make sure that the supply line to a bigger crime is blocked. So where he's starting is a matter of strategy, and they cannot expose his strategy to us. And also a signal to the bigger crime that we are coming after you. We are coming after you. So for us, we understand the terrain a bit, and we know the challenge they face. Part of the challenge is that when bigger crimes are being combated now, you see a lot of complications that will come out that you have to quoterize it. You have arrested 7 Yoruba people. Why not the Hausa people? You can imagine. I see corruption has a tribal mark. Corruption doesn't have a tribal mark. Dasuki, with our gun money, did it with someone who's an Ijoma, who's also an Igbo man, who's also a Yoruba man. So when this big money comes, nobody remembers it. But when the arrest came, they will start igniting ethnic and religious sentiment into it. So, and that is why I said that more education needs to be done. That the moment someone moves to put your pains behind you, if you have certain motives to becloud you, that's a problem. We need to keep engaging the public that no, forget about where we are going to start this anti-graft war. We can start in the market, we can start anywhere. The bottom line is like, are we running after people who have stolen money? If it has been established that people that we are running after actually committed the crime, see, let them start from where they want to start. They know from the way this man stands, it appears like someone who is ready to work. So the caution we have to give him is part of this that we are saying that terrain is difficult to. Before you know it now, you start hearing about his own account, because I have not seen any EFCC chairman that's not been decimated and been run out of office. And I hope and pray that his own will not be so. The president should please build a barricade around him to support him. You should not listen to any blackmail. You should not listen to any conjecture that when it was something has happened to him. They will always come up with it. If you start moving into more complex crime now or more bigger crime, they will come for him. And the president should be ready to, and the civil society will also be ready. We are watching to make sure that all this blackmail does not work on him. If you want to fight crime, you should brace up that they will fight back. Right. If you think that a crime that has been internationalized, you are going to sort it just as simple as we are assuming, you are joking. All this crime that is being committed in Nigeria is not a local crime again. Wire fraud is not a local crime again. And our people who steal our money have also find a way, a network where before you close and open your eyes, it's in Swiss bank. So such crime is so complex that it requires all the strength that they're going to get from the government and from people. So Nigeria should be ready. Money that is meant for my own children to buy chemical in the laboratory for him to be able to do his own as chemist. And this money that is fine is going to pocket of some political class. And if you want to stop that, why is ASU fighting every day? Is ASU fighting every day? We are breeding half-baked graduates. We keep borrowing money. As if the money we are making is not enough. Those monies were enough, but it's because we don't have access to it. People do abracadabra and disappears, and before you know it, it's in someone's pocket. So EFCC's work, ICPC's work is not a joke, and we should be ready to give them the necessary support for them to succeed.
All right, all in a bid, of course, to ensure a corruption-free society.